And we'll move the action agenda here to discuss those 3 items. Can I have a motion on the first item?
I move that we accept the purchasing accounting report.
Do we have a second?
Oh, yeah, I'll second.
Great. All right, any discussion to this motion? To accept the purchasing accounting report?
Yeah, but I didn't know if there was a response to my question.
I'm sorry, I didn't get a question, so
Okay.
was there a response?
Mrs. Bennett, I did not receive a question, no.
I didn't either, I'm sorry, before the meeting. Would you like to explain what the question was?
So on the purchasing report, there was an item on there for $30,000 for the law firm, and I have a thing here I can pass out. If you recall, last year we did an RFP on the law firm, and then then you and Roberts changed it without telling the board. And then the memo that we got from you and Janet was that it was a small purchase and didn't require board approval because it was under $50,000. And so it looks like tonight, if we vote on this, it's going to be $30,000 more. That's $60,000. That doesn't make it a small purchase anymore. It seems to me that that would be illegal to do that. And we should go out for RFPs on this.
Just to be clear, from my perspective, Michael, what you were objecting to was the fact that the attorney that was selected through the RFP moved from one firm to another. And we did not bring that back to the board because we felt that she had been selected as an individual. So that's what you had objected to.
But the explanation was that you didn't have to come to the board because it was a small purchase.
Well, that was not the explanation for the particular question, but go ahead, Janet.
So I just wanted to respond to Mr. Clara saying that it's $60,000. So the way the state purchasing department looks at this is within a calendar year, they say you can't spend more than $50,000. And so this will be for the entire fiscal year. So part of it will be in the calendar year 2016. Part of it will be in calendar year 2017. I assure you, we will not go over that $50,000, and if we did, we would follow the procurement rules.
So what you're saying is for this 2016, you're not gonna spend more than $50,000?
That is correct.
Okay, and then that other $20,000 that's out there is for the 2017?
For 2017, because they look at it on a calendar year basis. But of course, we're on a fiscal year, so part of those expenditures will be from January to June 2017, and that will count in the 2017 calendar year. But this $30,000 is for the entire fiscal year. Okay?
So let me pass out my letter that I gave to do you not want this? If you don't want it, you don't need to.
I just give it back.
So what our policy says is that we're not going to break it up, and that's in the letter. I quote the law and our policy, and we have here on F2 in our procedures, it says employees are prohibited from artificially dividing purchase in order to avoid exceeding the dollar expenditure limits established by the district. And that's in under 2, which is it's called illegal activities. And then it says that anything above 50,000, and then under small purchases, under our procedures, it says non-construction small purchases, one single or cumulative purchases from one vendor that total less than $50,000 is considered a small purchase. So this is saying that under this, that that it's not an annual thing, and that it's a cumulative thing. And I quote in the letter, the letter, if you recall, you sent me the email and a copy of the memo that she said that when she talked to the procurement officer that this is a small purchase. And this isn't an annual thing according to our policy and according to state law. So I'm just saying that, I'm definitely going to vote against it, and it's illegal if we try to do that. It's not a small purchase anymore.
Any further comments on that?
Can I ask a question just to make sure I understand? So we approved $30,000 for the legal services from Flow last year for a full year. So now we're approving it again for another full year, right? Because
That's
last
my
time we approved
understanding.
it, I'm just looking at your letter, Michael, it looks like we approved it about this time last year, so.
And the
full year.
contract, yeah,
So, but what you're saying is that by doing it, and that it's accruing, so now we're saying
Well-
it's 30,000 plus 30,000 rather than just 30,000 last year,
right,
30,000
and that's what this says here, that
Because
it's a
it
small
seems
purchase.
to me like most of what we approve, we approve an amount, even if it's over 50,000, and then we see it again the next year and we approve it again.
But those are, if it's not a small purchase, if it's over 50,000, then it's done with an RFP. And, you know, where we solicit, you know, proposals and choose out of that. In this particular case, they went straight to just hiring somebody.
But when we add, I don't want to cut you off, but
No,
I'm
that's
just trying to understand, so but a lot of what I look at, even on that smaller purchases, if you add them up, over time, they would be more than 50,000.
Then they wouldn't be.
Smaller,
they're not-
like textbooks, or even like
Right,
out of principals' budgets where they buy sweatshirts. But if you add them up over year after year after year, it would eventually be more than.
right, then if it's the same vendor, according to this, it says employees are prohibited from artificially dividing a purchase in order to avoid exceeding the dollar expenditure limits established by the district.
I
And so
think it might be the, I mean, I'm wrong.
I guess I'm not,
Might be that artificial division, because I don't think we're artificially dividing it, it's an
An
annual.
annual purchase order for a contracted service.
All right, that's not what it says. It says small purchases are single or cumulative purchases from one vendor that total less than 50,000, then would be considered, and that's what we were told last year, that it was a small purchase. But now that it's gonna go over the 50,000
And
today,
I think,
you know, it's not
No.
a small purchase anymore.
Mr. Clare, had we been informed of what the question was in advance, we could have brought our purchasing agent here and we could have talked about it in a little more detail, or we could have talked to you before the meeting to describe this.
I did send, I mailed the letter, you say no, Jen?
We have not received.
I'm just saying, I didn't receive anything, Mr. Clare,
No,
that's all.
and I wasn't saying that, I sent it to you.
I didn't say anything until you just asked me a question.
I know, because you were nodding your head no, so I had stopped to see what you were knowing about.
I think if there was something that was either mailed or emailed to me, I did not get it.
Okay, so what I did is I mailed you a letter on Friday, and then it came back to me today, and then I sent it to you electronically today, and then you said you got it, so
I got the letter on the other incident that you emailed me about. That is correct, not about this.
that's in there. You haven't read it then, so I'm not responsible for what you read, but I sent it, and it's in there, I mean,
And
I
what
explained.
the policy anticipates is that you'll give 24 hours notice of the question on the consent agenda item. And even if it came today, that's still not 24 hours.
But I just explained to you what I did, that it came back in the mail today, so I had to send it electronically, and I'm just clarifying, I did send it in, but nonetheless, this is, you know, anybody can read this, and if you guys are saying, you know.
I call the
Catherine,
question.
go ahead.
I call the question.
well, I just wanna ask one thing. I guess I'm misunderstanding what the 30,
So point of
oh,
order,
sorry.
sorry. I mean, Catherine called the question.
Yeah, and they both kind of raised their hand at the same time, but go ahead. We'll, you call the question, it's a non-debatable motion. So we have a motion and a second on the table. All those in favor of accepting the purchasing report?
Wait, are we gonna vote on the question first?
Oh, I guess yes, we can vote on, well, we don't vote on the question, do we?
Well,
Help
vote, I mean, I don't think we should stop debating people.
You don't vote on the call the question, right? You do or you don't? You don't. You vote.
Okay.
You don't vote on call the question.
Yeah.
It just takes us from our parliamentarian.
All right. So we call the question, request then that we vote on the motion on the table. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
I'm opposed, and I think it's silly that we can't even talk about it. It seems like you guys are trying to hide something.
No.
So.
No, my discussion was about illegal activity and purchasing, illegally, violation of the policy.
We,